You guys, I'm not mad at Kelsey. I'm not mad at Kelsey. Like, she got herself a sugar daddy. She lived a nice life for 10 years. And now she wants the marriage and the kids. Maybe she is a little jealous of Rosie, right? I think she sees like, her and Rosie are so similar. I still can't really tell them apart sometimes. But Rosie kind of has what she wants. Career, even though it's over. The man, no kids yet, but TBD. And, I think Kelsey kind of sees, yeah, that's what I want. She kind of has it. I'm kind of mad about it. It is what it is. I'm not really mad at Rosie. I'm not mad at Kelsey for being in an insecure time in her life. Like, I'm not. You're not going to make me be mad at this girl. This is so dark. That's not going to work. She's nervous. I think when we're all of us, when we're in transition, we get a little nervous. And yeah, I think Rosie hit the nail on the head when in her confessional, when she said what she said, Kelsey kind of wants what she has, and that's fine. And I think that's fine. But I think the jealousy might go a little both ways, because Rosie does keep mentioning that sugar daddy like it's a bad thing. And I don't think it is. I think we all need to, they're housewives, right? So there have been housewives who have had to sleep with and even marry some less than attractive men who ended up in a worse situation, right? If we think of Simon and Portia of Atlanta, Simon was tiny, gross, bald, weird looking. I don't know what that was even all about. Just to end up where she's at. I don't know, with him, they're divorced. Let's not forget Erica Jane, who was having to sleep with and marry that old Tom Girardi and do God knows what with him to live a life that we now know it's, was paid for from stolen money. And now she's left with like lawsuits and shit. This sugar daddy is, letting her live for free, letting her date another dude, not mad about it, giving her a soft, an off-ramp, like paying for her rent while she goes. She's doing better than a lot. Kelsey is making out better than a lot of Real Housewives that were supposed to be kept women and ended up divorced with nothing. Or divorced and having to figure it out. This guy seems to be cool with her having a boyfriend on camera. He's paying her rent. Like, I don't know what you guys are mad at. If you're mad, you're jealous. Like, if we zoom out just a little bit at some of these housewives that had these men that were supposedly paying for things, and they were supposed to be keeping these women to a certain lifestyle, and ended up screwing these women over. Kelsey left the situation, no wedding, no divorce, no kids, 30 years old, has plenty of years ahead of her to get what she wants. Again, he's off-repping her, paying for her insurance and her rent. Like, he's not even mad about it. You guys, Kelsey is doing fine. And I don't get the hate. I don't get the whole throwing it in her face that she has a sugar daddy. Like, good for her. Good for her. Speaking of Atlanta, is that all I wanted to say about Rhode Island? For me, the jury was out on Liz on Rhode Island, but I am team Liz. At first, I felt like she was kind of like high on her confessionals, and I wasn't a fan of that. But now, I like Liz. She's real. She is giving me more and more Dolores vibes. House Labs mother. I like Liz. I like Alicia. The dolls thing is a little creepy, but you know what? Fuck it. Let people like things. She likes dolls, whatever. She's done pretty well for herself. Usually you try to like steer people away from like weird, quirky, like habits or whatever because you think they'll be like ostracized in society, but like that's not the case anymore. Like if she likes to be weirdly obsessed with dolls, let her be. She's doing well, right? She's got her man, her kids, her beautiful home. Her and her dolls are doing better than a lot of other people. So I say, let her live. We'll do blush next. Who else? Who else do we need to talk about? Actually, I'll do my House Labs brush. Hold on. Okay, what's next? I didn't want to talk about Beverly Hills until the reunion was over, but let's talk briefly about the Kyle and Mauricio of it all. And that's just like a whole other thing, because I feel like the whole season she spent beating up on and targeting Dorit because she doesn't want to talk about her whole situation, her own situation. And I feel like we're seeing that in the reunion a little bit. And I wanted to wait until the reunion was over to like really go into it. But since they did bring up the Mo of it all already, eczema, let's talk about it. So Kyle is not filing for divorce for a different reason than Mo's not filing. Mo just enjoys having full access to marital funds. He does. Full access, does whatever he wants with all the money. And Kyle's not going to complain because she has to play dutiful wife to a man who's not claiming her as his wife anymore. I think, okay, blush blindness. So you can tell by the long pause she took when Dorit asked her, are you waiting for him to come back? She took a long pause. She was really thinking about it. And she really kind of hesitated before she said, no, but, she just doesn't want things to change for how they were. But if he's just going to treat you like he has no idea who you are when you're in public, like when she said that about that party that even Rachel Zoe was there and witnessed it, like he's going to do it. He's not with you. So Mo is not filing because he wants to keep full access to marital funds. She's not filing because she thinks that by not filing, she's going to hold some sort of status in his life, which she's not, because she said first of all, he acts like he doesn't know her when they're in public. He's fully single even when she's around. And then she mentioned how like he went from having his apartment to getting this house, and she had no idea because she thinks if they're still sharing full financials that he's going to consult with her before he does things, and he's not, because he's a single man in his head. No matter how much you're in denial about it, that's a single man, and it's going to start really pissing her off when he's using marital funds to fly out the next bitch to the south of France. It's going to piss her off when he's using marital funds to buy $20,000 Birkins for the next girl. It's going to piss her off when he's, paying for his girlfriend's rent and whatever with their marital money. She's not getting it. And her saying that if it wasn't for social media, they'd still be together, or if they had just, moved out of LA and had been like ski instructors in Vail, they'd still be together. No, ma'am. He is unfaithful. An unfaithful man is going to be an unfaithful man no matter how much money he has in his bank. It's a lot easier to turn a blind eye to his infidelity when you can buy yourself a Constellation Range Rover. It's a lot easier to turn a blind eye to his infidelity when, you can pick up your daughters and go to the south of France for 2 months. It's a lot harder to turn a blind eye to his infidelity when he's taking girls out to dinner and putting them up in hotels and you guys are still struggling to pay your mortgage, or your college fund or whatever for your daughter is coming up. It's a lot harder to turn a blind eye when money is tight. So I definitely don't think that would have kept you guys together. And I think the only honest thing she said in that reunion was when Bose interjected and said, you probably want to do it now that you guys are getting along and before other people get in the way. She said, I'd rather have someone to blame. And I 100% believe that she was 100% honest in that moment, because she does not want to come to terms that he's just done with the relationship. He would rather be like, this happened because you let this person get in the way, this person, this person, this person. She would much rather, where's my brush? She would much rather blame someone. Like she said, she would much rather have someone to blame. And that is unfortunate. And that is the Delulu. And I feel like she is taking up for PK again because that's Mo's best friend. And she wants to show Mo, hey, I'm not a regular estranged wife. I'm a cool estranged wife. I'm on your side. God, isn't Tariq being so crazy? Oh my God. And she thinks that's gonna make him realize like how cool she is and keep him around. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, Kyle. That's not how it goes. And unfortunate, let me tell you, because she's also spiraling, watching Dorit kind of go through it and throwing in her face that they're in different financial situations, because she knows that it's going to get real fucking messy when she and Mo decide to split. He's probably hiding money right now. He's probably still in the middle of lawsuits. That's still going to fall on her because it's still marital funds. And I think she sees in Dorit how bad it could potentially get for her, because it's going to get messy. It's going to get messy with money. And if Kyle were a smarter woman, if she were less delusional, she would buddy up and start picking Sutton Strack's brain, because if somebody knows about separating from somebody that she was with for the long haul, because Sutton was with her ex since they were in high school. It's not like she was gold digging. They were together for a very long time. That's why she got the settlement that she did. And Kyle needs to pick her brain, and also Rachel Zoe. Because Rachel Zoe, on the financial aspect, she did also create businesses with her husband, and they were business partners. Whereas Sutton, I believe, was the stay-at-home wife, and she got her payout. I think Kyle is going to need both of them to lean on. If she were smart, she would be leaning on both of them to like pick their brains and help get her ducks in a row, instead of thinking, well, Mo would never do this to me. Like, Kyle is really acting like Mo's just going through a phase. Like, there are men in their 80s. We have Ric Flair, the nature boy, like in his 80s, still out there in the clubs with women. Like, as far as Mo sees it, like, that's it. This is his next chapter. This isn't a phase. Like, his kids are grown. They're old. They don't have to deal with custody and summer vacations and who's paying for summer camp and who gets them for this. Like, they're done. What else do they got? They got Portia's college graduation whenever that happens, whenever the rest of them get married, and whenever they have babies. Like, they're grown. So even like the holidays, the girls are going to be splitting it up between their friends and significant others anyway. Like, it's a hard transition under normal circumstances, right? Even if there was no divorce happening, no separation, like, it's a tough transition for parents to like go into that phase where you no longer, your holidays look so different. Kids are not kids anymore. They have other plans. They're split in time. So like under normal circumstances, that would be challenging. She's making it worse for herself by, holding on as tight as she is. Because this ain't it, babe. This ain't it. I don't like this for you. I don't like this for them. And she's going to pay a real karmic debt with regards to this. Now, with regards to the rest of it, I don't want to give my opinion yet until, like, where's my cosas? Blushers. Blushes life. Dare spellbound. Dare. Oh no, girl. This ain't looking good for you, girl. Kyla's been really deflecting. And yeah, I'll withhold the rest of my commentary till after the rest of the reunion. I just wanted to say that. And Atlanta. Let's finish off with Atlanta. K. Michelle is so stinking cute. She's so cute. She's so tiny. She's a little woman, big feelings. And I feel like those big feelings are going to stand in the way of her getting real close to Portia, because now she's going to think Portia's being just shady at her, which Portia is messy, but she's not being messy with her. I think Portia is keeping her messiness to Pinky, Shamia, Kelly. I think she really wanted to have a good connection with you, but so I think you're not liking Portia's messiness is going to come in the way of that. And I don't blame you, because you don't know. You're new to this cruise, so you're only going by what you see. So, you're not wrong. K. Michelle's not wrong. But I think she's interpreting Portia's messiness where it's not being messy. Not yet. And I don't like that K. Michelle did not get a prenup. Even if prenups, people really think, you only want a prenup if you have money. No, you get a prenup even if both of you don't have a pot to piss in. Because whatever it is, you want to make sure that when you guys split, your contribution to the relationship is being acknowledged. Whether one person is going to work every day, or starting a business, and the other one staying home and, launching a more creative career, whether one person is staying home with the children, the other one is getting their degree to become a lawyer or a doctor, whether one person is bringing money in now or not, the person who's not bringing in money is contributing in other ways, and that needs to have a value attached to it in writing. Because you don't want to say, well, I worked and I brought in 6 figures for the last 8 years and you did nothing but take care of kids and, try to stream your video games, so you're not entitled to shit. Well, that's not true, Or you don't want someone to then say, hold on, where is this one? So whether you're a stay-at-home mom and your lawyer husband decides to run off with the secretary, at least you have in writing that I was a stay-at-home mom. I contributed by raising the children, by keeping the home, by, managing the operations of our household. And it's worth this amount of money with an increase of X amount per year and an increase of X amount per child and per pet, per square footage of the home. And it's like a living document. So if that changes and you decide to start doing your makeup online and now all of a sudden you're making more money, you can go ahead and change that document. Like, you guys need to be able to work with that information and just put it out there, because not only is it about money coming in, it's about money that goes out. So if, your wheeling and dealing, money making lawyer husband is all of a sudden $4 million in debt, that's your $4 million of debt too. You're on the hook for it too. And we know that the minute finances start getting funny, that's when relationships start to shift. And we want to just protect everyone's mental health when that happens. So I don't like that she doesn't have a prenup for that reason. And, it also brings up conversation, and the attorneys will be asking you questions that need to be asked that you're maybe not thinking about asking. So it will almost serve even as like a pre-marriage counseling, honestly, and then keep it going throughout the marriage as circumstances change, and it'll be like continuous counseling for your marriage, And I think people are missing that point. And what else did I not like? She didn't have the prenup. And I feel like there was something else that was a red flag to me. That's it for now. I love these girls so much. I think I can do without Pinky. Pinky's weird. Pinky's weird. It's weird that she would choose to publicly go through a bankruptcy and be so open and talking about it and go through that scrutiny when you have a man that can help you resolve that issue. I also have a question as to if food and beverage, the restaurant industry is so volatile and so like challenging, like it's not guaranteed to be successful. It's, you know, very likely that it's not. Why do so many Atlanta housewives choose to get into it? Like, whether it's opening a bar, opening a club, opening a restaurant, opening up a chain restaurant, it's like not ideal. It would be better to do like how Meg Thee Stallion was, that you bought into an already established franchise. There's a little less risk there. I think she bought into like a Popeyes or something. I don't know. But that would be a better move. After everyone is always, I don't know. And now these girls are like launching alcohol beverages. That's also kind of volatile because it is so saturated. You got to make sure you're offering something super clean and precise that like somebody really, really wants. I just don't know, guys. I don't know, guys. I have questions. They can, you know, just keep their investments to like the stocks, especially in this economy. Why are you looking at brick and mortar situations, guys? I know because you have a lot of exposure, you have a fan base, you have guaranteed like publicity and marketing because of the show, but like honestly, stick to the stocks and just like sell merch, like sell like frickin' frack merch or something. God, I love those girls. But I'm very confused as to why everybody wants to open up a restaurant business in Atlanta. Atlanta, that's like notorious for like bad restaurant reviews as far as like service. I don't know. If anyone knows, let me know. As a matter of fact, I think I want to try a wing. Wings are coming back, so bear with me, people. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna do this. Press is best, right? Follow this line up. I don't know, guys. What do you think? That's what we're looking like today. I don't know what I'm doing with my hair. Probably not much, but there we are. There's the look. And we'll chat in a